Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel and my blog. Today we're going to make 4 cards. We're really only going to make 2 backgrounds. We're going to use this Paper Rose diagonal stripe die and this Paper Rose Hello layered die. We're going to use some distress inks and we're going to top it off with a little bit of sequins. These are simple little cards, but ever since I saw this die, I really wanted to have a play with a bit of a rainbow background, and today was it basically. So we've got candied apple, we've got carved pumpkin, squeezed lemonade, we've got mowed lawn, salty ocean, and wilted violet. This is how I store all my little blending by me things, and they fit in there perfectly. I've got just sort of some acetate in them and velcroed the sponge on the back of it. That's simple. So we're going to do 2 things, two ways of blending this, and I'm going to speed this up very, very shortly. I'm not worried about the blending so much. I'm going to go over it twice, but we're going to wet it down with a little bit of water and we're going to die cut out, so it's not a big deal. So what was I going to say? So we're going to do this twice in blending in 2 different directions. So obviously this one we've got diagonal from top left to bottom right, and the other one I thought let's just do left to right. That's pretty much why we went with making the 4 cards with the 2 backgrounds. So anything where you can sort of crack out a couple of extra cards without any not a lot of time is pretty good to me. As I said, these are very, very simple. So this is another video for Lesley at Little Bits in Keysborough. Her details will be down below. If you're in Melbourne, give her an email or give her a call. She'll happy to send things out to you at whatever point you want. And we've started up with a couple of classes now. Classes are limited, of course, with social distancing, and she also asks if you can bring your own little kit and cut it if possible, but it just helps us trying to keep everyone safe. So you can see here that I'm not really too fluffed with the blending. Like, it's not a silky smooth blending, but you're going to see it's not really going to matter. So we've got a little bit of water and I've left it on here for a little while. It's hard to see, but it's slowly coming out. There you go. And this way, as I just said, we're going to go left to right. So we're going to do the same thing all over again. And I just decided that I wanted to see if it was going to look any good. As you can see, I'm not worried. I'm whacking the colour down. I'm not worried about the lines. It's not going to matter. And frankly, if it really did matter, I could just move the die down and die cut it out a little bit later on. A little bit lower, sorry. A little bit lower, and it won't really matter. But as it is, I just die cut it centrally, because this diagonal stripe will cut around the edge. So it just perfect sizing. And I actually have a little border. I have 2 little borders still that I could easily frame around another card if I so wished. Just a little bit of a rainbow frame. And because I can't help myself, even all that colour that is left on the Fiskars silicone mat, I'm going to use that still. We're going to sponge that on some watercolour cardstock, and I'll keep that for something else. But we'll see what happens. It could be just a very quick and simple birthday card for one of my boys' friends or something like that, something a bit rough and rugged, and a bunch of teenage boys, they don't want frilly. So there's our sponging, and I'm going to put a bit of water on, and you can see it sort of working there. and we lift it up and voila. So off camera, I'm going to clean up that mess. I'm going to dry it off and then die cut it. Sorry, that was my phone. This is some clean and press seal, Glad clean and press seal. Now in Australia, it's not that easy to find, but you can get it and it's really good. You can get it at Costco. Not always, but most of the time you can get it at Costco, and you can it comes in a pack of 3, so if you have 3 friends that are crafty wise, then you can easily split it, and it's pretty cheap. I can't think of how much it is, but I mean, of course prices might change a little bit, but it was roughly around about $5 or $6 altogether, and you can reuse each of these sheets over and over and over again. That's not a problem whatsoever. So what I've done is I've put a piece on the back and then popped it out of the die, and now we've got a little bit on the front, and it's going to help us so much with placing this. So we've got some multi-matte medium, and we're going to glue around the edges. Oh, sorry, we're going to glue inside first. Okay, and I squeezed it a little bit too hard there, but we're going to fill in all the little bits on the inside with the multi-matte medium, and this is going to help us place it. So we just pick up the whole thing and we place it down, and it's going to help us provide the perfect spacing for our lines, our grids. So now all we have to do is peel it off. The only real problem I had was that uber tiny bit in the 2 corners, between the 2 corners, and that's the only problem I really had. So I put this on a card base, so I'm going to cut that off because I decided I didn't want it straight on the card base, and you'll see that later on. So now all that's left, all that's down, we're just going to let that dry. Now we've still got, just put a bit of weight on it. I record with my phone, so I can't put my phone on it. So we've got this frame, and we're just going to put some glue on the back of it and put that directly onto the base. Now you could raise this up, not a problem, but I just wanted it flat. As I said, they're very, very simple cards, easily repeatable, but I just wanted to have a play with the rainbows. So we've die cut this other one. This one doesn't stay in, but that's not going to be a big problem because honestly we lost the 2 uber tiny bits and we lost that little center bit. So we're going to put a bit of Glad press and seal, turn it over, and I'm going to come back and place my little corner little bits in. And that is all. So same process, we're going to put that another piece on. So one side of this is sticky and the other one isn't for the Australian people because this is not readily available in Australia. There's also another store down in Melbourne called USA Foods that also sells this singularly. So there is a couple of places, and if you have a USA, it's not branded, but USA, someone that sells all those USA, so your Twinkies and your, gosh knows what else. I can't think of anything else, but all those bits and pieces, then you might find it there. So we've done the same thing, and we're going to, so it's just lifted a little bit on the corners. And we peel him off, just gently. Because it's not super glued down, like it's not properly adhere. So I really like the black, and I think that's why I decided to cut the other one off the card front base and add the black behind it as well, because I really like the black. So I'm going to put a bit of glue on again, and that's it. So the other cards I'm going to do exactly the same way, but I'm going to do those off camera to save you a little bit of time, because you don't need to watch me glue all these suckers down. So there's bits, using up old bits of cardstock. We're going to trim that down so it just has a nice little white or black border around the edges. And we've die cut our hello out between white for the top layer or white for the bottom, and then black or vellum. And we're going to use multi-matte medium again to adhere those to each other. With the vellum, I've put the multi-matte medium on the vellum. Once I've adhered the top layer, I've put the multi-matte medium just over the hello again, like the top layer. So you won't be able to see the multi-matte medium on through the vellum. So all these cards, there's two that are a bit similar to each other, but all these cards are pretty much the same. And one of them I didn't put clear sequins. You'll see it at the end. I put a mix that I had just in my stash, and there was clear, there was black, there was a bronzy color, and that sort of thing. Like the clear wasn't really clear; it was more like iridescent. But I didn't want to put the black. What did I put? Clear. Oh, here they are. Right beside me. So I didn't want to put the clear on it because there's a lot of white, and one of them, the one that actually has the black sequins on it, is raised up with a little bit of foam mount on the back of it. So putting the hello onto the vellum piece, and when I hold that down for a little bit, and when I turn it over, as I said, I'm going to put it so it hides it under the white. I'm just trying to figure out here which one I like better. So they're nice and bright cards. As I said, you can do a birthday, you could do anything like these and knock two cards out in one time. But the present, the clean, the glad press and seal, it just helps enormously. It's really good for making, if you have a arrangement of different florals, you can sort of all put them down. All put them down and then use a bit of press and seal to pick them up, turn them over, put your glue on. And you may have to do the very top layers, you may have to put a bit of foam or the glue on it again. Not again, but you may have missed it on the first round. So it just makes it super easy. So we've got our uniquely creative clear sequins. And I'm just figuring out, see, some of these I put 3, some of these I put 5. And they're all placed a little bit differently. But it's just what I felt. Let's be honest, it's just how I felt when I did it, and that was all there is. I'm using a Marvy jewel picker to pick them up, and then had the multi-matte medium underneath and pick it up and put it down again. And this is a dual-ended jewel picker, and it's got sort of like I don't know, it's like waxy, but it basically picks it up. You can see that it picks it up, okay? So it's nice and easy. And that's pretty much it for our cards today. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. And link will be down below with all Lesley's information. And link will be down below my blog. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for spending a bit of time with me. And we shall see you next time. Bye.